Perfect.
Okay, so welcome back to Creative Mornings. Lino, you have the right to. So hi to everyone who's seeing the streaming now or in the future, or in the present, because the future will be the present for the ones who are okay. And as philosophy, it's early in the morning. So for I don't know if there is anyone that's here for the first time. Probably yes. So welcome. I'm going to present very shortly what Creative Morning is, but lately. What happens with Creative Mornings is that we are a community of more than 250 communities in the world, different cities. Every city has their own community. And in turn, every community decides one of the theme of the year. So this week, every community in the world is thinking about this word, soft, that was illustrated by Leanna Kinnis. We are sharing every detail about her on our social network, so you can explore the work. What is soft? Soft is being here, even if it's early, even if it's raining, and still being quiet and silent and waiting with good expectation for the other people. Being soft for me means staying in the world thinking that somehow, somewhere, with someone, things will go well. And feeling that before even meeting the other people. And I'm already feeling that here with you, that decided to come. So again, welcome to Creative Mornings. There is a special thanks that I have to give to our location for today, because we had some kind of misunderstanding the day before, and Lino, the owner of this beautiful place, Fiori Artificiali, I invite you to explore. Maybe not, because the link is not online today.
But you can find us on Instagram.
Of course, and we tagged them, of course. This is a multifunctional place, I would say. So I really invite you to explore their services, and you already explored the location, you already met Lino. Really, thank you very much for today. And we don't need to present him anymore because you already met him. Matteo Boseglio, you can explore his work. Thank you for being here. Thank you for fighting the rain with us today and for providing another definition of softness. The main sponsor for this year in Creative Mornings International is Adobe. So I believe that as creative everyone is already aware of who they are. As I said, these are the numbers of Creative Mornings. So I invite you to think that today, tomorrow, this week, especially, all these people will be trying to think about soft in a different ways, in different location, in different situation, in different mental, psychological, and physical situation too. With a cornetto, with a brioche, maybe with something completely different, a donut. You know, the Creative Mornings community was born with expired donuts because our founder decided to invite other designers in her studio, and she basically took all the unsold donuts from the bakery in the street, because she didn't have money, but she really believed that meeting other creative could be the start of something new. It's definitely would happen. And now I'm welcoming our speaker for today, Alice Monti. Thank you.
Actually, it's very funny that it's soft, which is an adjective that nobody would ever use to talk about me. So this is the very first thing. Anyway, thank you for what you said in the introduction. And one thing I want to say that you say, what is soft? Because I did not relate, so I'm hearing this for the first time. There's a phrase, very common, that is said in the Burning Man, which is about trust, that says, express your intention and Playa will provide. And literally, this happened to me multiple times. I couldn't find a thing, I needed something, I asked, and somebody out of nowhere provided. So really, this is the greatest pitch for your soft week.
Thank you very much. Enjoy Alicia's speech. Okay. I hope everybody at home can hear me. So, my name is Alice. I was about to introduce myself in a different way, but I've decided that I will use mainly what I believe really is my thing. Of course, I work in communication, digital events, moderator, I have a real estate, blah, blah, blah. But what's my mission now is to bring linearity to the world. I have created this world, which is about the fact that we have not created the value of our life during the straight trends of our life, but the life breaks downwards or upwards, okay? And sometimes people try to make us believe that we have to fit into definitions. We have to find a career, pursue it forever, find an idea, make it an enterprise, and devote your entire life to it. This is totally bullshit, okay? Because I've had a very linear career. And since there was not a word for that, I created. Today is my brand, Linearity. I have a podcast called Destiny Linearity, where I share a linear story, because we all are linear, okay? We just have to remember that and liberate our potential. So if I would define myself today, I'm the inventor of the linearity, and that's not my work, because I'm not my work, you're not your work, you're not your job. Okay, allora, let's talk about the Burning Man. And I have a video I would like to show you, but I will here, chisel. Okay, it's a 5-minute video, so we're not gonna watch it fully, but just to give you a hint, okay? Quindi Matteo, ti chiedo solo se puoi per questa introduzione sospendere la tua bellissima performance.
It's been called a social experiment, post-apocalyptic training. Some call it home. A temporary city emerges in the desert. Once each year. No status, no government, no currency. A society focused on the individual. 1 week of celebrating humanity, expression, and collaboration. One by one, they arrive into dust pools and scorching heat. The city has been constructed and dismantled by its attendees over 30 times. By the end, art and buildings will be burnt to ashes. No trace will be left until next year, where it will be rebuilt again. A community eager to reconnect, to explore, to build what their imaginations can conceive. And share what makes them unique. This experiment isn't about discovering a supreme being. It's about discovering what's supreme in ourselves. A recalibration of the spirit. A reminder to step outside our bubbles, put down our screens, and rediscover ourselves above the noise. To surrender, let go, and co-create a world together. This city is a labor of love. thousands of people working together to build a world that's new, one that creates unity. A reminder that we are all interconnected. We begin to realize this isn't about you or me. It's about us and what we create together. And when we work together in a tribe, combining our energies, something becomes awakened in us. The ego begins to fade. The self becomes dedicated to something beyond you, that's greater than you. No inhibitions, no judgment, no.
Okay. So, get very emotional when I see this video. Sorry. So, let's start. About this is just like a manual. Okay, this is my experience. Okay, this really are my notes that I wrote on my notebook that I like literally I've taken to all the farthest corner of the playa. So it's really covered in dust, in food, in drinks, in tea, and everything I was eating when I was writing those notes. So many labels have been stick to this event, even to myself, because people, I mean, I was the last person on earth that was about to go to the Burning Man. In fact, many people got surprised that I was there, and many people tried to label it as a rave, as a festival, as a place where people go like to take drugs and make orgies. And the very definition of the Burning Man is written at the Reno airport. Actually, I did not see it myself because when I arrived, I was in a very emotional mood because I don't know if you've ever heard, but this time at the Burning Man, the first 3 days, there was a huge dust storm, thunderstorm, heavy rains, floods, many camps, like 50% of the camps, even more, were destroyed. So we didn't know if we were able to enter or not, and even when we entered, we faced really great problems. So I didn't see when I landed in Reno. I was not in an emotional state to look around with the kind of surprise mood. But my friend, he's from Miami, Mark, is a great friend of mine, like made a picture of it and says that the Burning Man is a global cultural movement. And movement is a key word because it's something that stays in you even when you get off the playa, and that aims at creativity, connection, and human flourishing. So it's really a laboratory where you can live very light experiences, which is not superficial, but also very deep ones. And it's an inner journey. So what I'm doing here is not just to tell you what I've done at the Burning Man. I'm very jealous of that, of every experience. I barely share on social media. I had a WhatsApp chat community where also there I barely share pictures and videos, very jealous. But I'm here to like share what I've learned because maybe this can spark a question in you. Maybe not necessarily have to go to Burning Man. It's not an experience I would recommend to everybody. I would recommend any personal growth course like Tony Robbins, Johnny Spencer. You go there, you take what you need, something will resonate in you, and then you go home. This is not for everybody, but it's to spark a question, to raise a new awareness. So the first lesson I've learned is like you have to travel in your life with the inner explorers, okay? You have to travel to the Burning Man, but also life in business with people that are fellow travelers. That when you fell off, they will hold the field for you. And when they do, you would do the same for them. It's a very unique situation in which all the roles disappear. And you are like pushed to do things you would never do. I've never set up a tent in in my entire life. I look at the tutorial 10 times, and guess what? When I arrived, the type of tent I chosen was destroyed. So I had to build a tent. I had no clue how to do that. And sometimes the people you are with, maybe you rely on them, but they fell. Even though you think they were the strongest person in the group or in the relationship. And so in that moment, there's no finger point. That's you roll up your sleeves and you start doing things. So really, the time is the most valuable asset we have. And a recent study in Harvard, the longest studies ever issued, like 3 weeks ago, says that the number one factor impacting on your longevity is, you know what it is? Guess it. Relationships. The quality of your relationships. Not the food, not the sleep, not the stress, the quality of your relationships. Lesson number 2, the discomfort as a teacher. This is my WhatsApp picture because I don't want to explain to anybody. I was just saying I'm in the desert till the 5th of September. So leave me alone, okay? So discomfort, this has two faces of the same coin. So the first one is when I was there the very first days, I had a totally emotional breakdown. I started crying. I thought I was about to die almost because really there were this thunderstorm, this floods. I mean, you are under a tent in the middle of nowhere. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot take a taxi. You cannot go to a hotel. So you're there, naked, let's say, in the middle of nowhere. So discomfort is a teacher because it tells something about you, about your unresolved trauma. And to live it as a teacher, you have to live it as it is. So I have people around me, maybe people that were their 3rd, 10th birth around me, they ask me, how are you? And I said, I'm sad, I'm frustrated. And nobody tried to convince me that things will go well. They were saying, okay, do you want a cup of tea? So staying in my discomfort, okay, helped me to recover better. And what followed after that, because at a certain point the sun started rising again the 3rd day, it made the experience the most incredible of my entire life. I just another one before this, that was the first incredible experience of my life. It's called the Hoffman process. But now this has become the most incredible experience I've ever lived. This applies to others. I hope you're not there to do drugs. Few people wrote this me on social media, okay? Normally I would have replied, oh no, I'm not here, I don't smoke, I've never got drunk, I don't drink, So I would have explained myself. I replied to them, why would I change your mind? I mean, that's not a question, that's an affirmation. So when people are labeling you, okay, that you're there to do something, that you are poor, that you're weak, that you're not strong, that you're afraid, they're labeling you that label says more about them than about you, because they cannot stay in that discomfort. They cannot admit that somebody like me, okay, because the first question everybody asked was, did you do drugs? Okay, and the answer is no, but this does not make me a hero. So a person like that wouldn't accept that I was there, not drinking, not smoking, not doing drugs, and still having the greatest experience of my life. So discomfort is a teacher for yourself and others. So you have to stay inside it. Because at the first days I would like to escape. If I had found a way to get out of the camp, I would. But fortunately, I didn't. And again, this is what I said, be aware of label markers, okay? So the quickest way to diminish someone is to reduce them to a category, okay? And so the narrative that was here in Italy was, oh, there's this orgy place in the middle of the desert of Nevada where people do drugs that have been punished by bad weather conditions, okay? So the religious one. So, I mean, of course, there are camps dedicated to sex. There's the orgy dome, but it's not about that. There are 80,000 people there. There was a camp we're talking about the chai tea, the blue chai tea. A camp about mathematics, where they serve the tea and coffee at 3:14, like the Pi Greco, okay? Lesson number 4, every person reflects you. So this is one of the hardest lessons for me. When you go to the bird, you have many people sharing their story, okay? Sharing how they came to that point. And sometimes the fact that you're a stranger make them tell a lot of stuff they would not tell anybody. Maybe they're recovering from drugs, maybe they have a loss, things that would never told to their normal circle of peers, of people around them. And I think that every person is a mirror and should be considered as that. Because what I want to say is that when we hear the story of somebody else, we tend to compare. So she's married and she has a kid. I'm not. So what am I doing? She seems successful, okay, but I'm not where I am. So listen to the other people's story without comparing and without judging. Because if you're judging, see she's or he is like far beyond you or far behind is the greatest challenge. This doesn't mean you don't have to ask a question, okay? I ask a lot of questions about myself. One of the greatest questions I have in mind right now, to be truly transparent, is about maternity. I'm turning 40 and I do not have kids. And I don't know if I'm going to have them or not, because I want them or do not. So ask yourself questions, but don't compare. It's just a mirror. So you mirror in the other, and this helps your journey. But you have your journey, he has your journey, she has her own journey. But that's the difficult part, because really you met a lot of people living, in different places, and sometimes everybody seems to having a great life, and you might be scared to be back to your old life, okay, and be imprisoned in that, but it's not, because when you come back from such an experience, you're a totally different person. And home is everywhere. Literally, okay, I never went camping in my entire life. People were surprised that me having breakfast at Hilton 4-star or Mandarin Oriental was sleeping in a tent, and the first night I was sleeping on the floor because there was a flood and we couldn't take our luggage and our bed in the tent. I was with my brother. So I slept almost on the floor, and during the day there are 34 degrees Celsius, but in the night there are 5 or 6. So you have your thermal equipment. So I felt at home. So we have to think that we're so dynamic and evolving that today there's not a place to be called home forever. So home is a place for sure where you have your roots. Many of you live now in the land, but they're not from here. But like home is Italy. Home for me is also Dubai. Home was the house of people that invite me to come over to visit them that I met there. New York, Miami, Mexico City. So literally home is everywhere. And this fragmentation, it's not really something that divides us, that makes us feel all connected to everybody. You see yourself in the others. And then again, talking about drugs and everything, what is true freedom? Burning Man is a place where roles fade away, they disappear, okay? Maybe you don't know, but the man burns on Saturday because it represents the society, all the roles, all the, definitions that are sticking onto you, okay? At Burning Man, you don't care. You're a woman, you're a man, you're a mother, you're married, you're single. Nobody cares about it, just you. So in a place where role fades away, still many people play some roles. So the freedom, I went to the Burning Man very open, okay? I just didn't go saying, okay, I've never smoked, I wouldn't smoke. I never do drugs, I'm not taking mushrooms. I went very open because there's a phrase that says that your mind it's like a parachute, so it works only when it's open, okay? Freedom is not choose everything that you can do, because at the Burning Man you can do everything. You can go, you can walk down the streets naked, okay? You can dress whatever you want, you can do any kind of experience, but freedom is not choosing everything you can choose, it's choose in alignment who you are. There were people at the Bird that actually did some things, including drugs, because people were expecting them to do that. People were expecting them to go for the excess. And again, what's the excess? What's normality? They're all relative concepts. So freedom is about really choosing what is for you in that moment. Maybe it's something you've done your entire life. Maybe it's something new, but it's just based on who you are right now. And we are now living completely different from yesterday. Even our body is not even the same. You know, the cell of our lips renovates every 24, 48 hours. So lips you have today will not be the lips somebody will kiss in 48 hours. So imagine the rest of the body, your emotions, your brain. We all grow by contamination. We change our mind. So literally, I was the last person on earth to go to such a thing because I was the one judging. Oh, people doing drugs. Okay? Okay, this is a very important lesson. I think one of my favorite that I've learned. I was having a chat with this girl that was very happy to be there, saying, oh my God, we're living this amazing experience. I'm meeting incredible people. I'm crying, I'm laughing, I'm having fun, I'm learning so much. And then all of a sudden, she started saying, oh my God, in the world, there's so many world. We're here, we're privileged, and we're doing nothing for these people. And she went in a very bad mood. Normally, I would have tried to convince her, but it was in my zen mood. And I said, listen, I'm not denying in the world there are bad things going on. Wars, people dying, people do not have access to electricity, to water, to sanitary services. And I understood that because for 7 days, I peed in a porta potty, okay, outside my tent. So guys, really, I'm still Mandarin Oriental girl. So, but what I told her is, coming to this experience with the right intention is doing an inner work. You work on yourself, you work on your belief, you work on your traumas, you grow as a person because you learn to do new things, practical, like setting up a tent in the middle of the desert, but also you elaborate new perspective on life. So when you do an inner work, which is something that everybody should do, by reading a book, like going to therapy, going to personal growth course, anything, okay, meditating, listening to handpan to raise your vibration. When you're doing an inner work, you're taming your inner war and outside and thus the inner wars. So the more you work on yourself, the less you see the enemy in the outer. And so actually being at the Burning Man with this intention and working on yourself and raising vibration, it's something that somehow will help you not to start a war with your neighbor or a war with anybody else. War started because ideas clashes. First with 2 people, and then 3, and then 4, and then 10, and then countries, and then continents. So, and this made her refocus, okay? And so when we say, what can I do compared to what is going on in the world, work on yourself. The more you work on yourself and you heal your fucking traumas, the less you see the enemy. I have traumas as well. I've been bullied when I was in elementary school. So sometimes I have the trauma of being excluded, and sometimes I overreact in situations that have nothing to deal with this trauma. But still, I'm working on that. And then people are the key. 70% of the quality of the experiences that you live at the Burning Man are made of the people you meet, of their story, people caring about you, people driving you to that experience. I was the one, I have the hairdresser in my calendar, okay, meditation in my calendar, and people there said, you have the agenda with all the events going on in every camp at every moment of the day. And my mentor at the camp said, Ellis, do not plan anything, because you don't know, you will be living the day or the night. So I went to a sound healing session, and then I met a girl who brought me to a visualization camp, and then brought me back to the camp where I met my friend Mark, and suggested me to go to a piano concert with this guy going on a bicycle, and everybody in the bicycle behind with the headsets on, listening to a piano concert in the middle of the desert, riding a bicycle at sunset. So I had nothing planned about this. So people really are the key. And this is a temple which actually burns after the man. When the man burns, is a celebration. Everybody screams, everybody's happy, there's music, all the Luna cycle. The temple burns on Sunday, and everybody's silent. In the temple, you've seen in the video, people bring things that they want to let go. Okay, it is closing Sunday morning because it's all burned. Okay. So the whole construction is burned on Sunday. Inside, I found so many pictures of people that are no longer on this planet, and I get very emotional because a girl from my team, same age as me, died 1 year ago from cancer. So time is really precious, and With these pictures, there were letters like, you've been an incredible husband, you've been an amazing wife, you've been an amazing friend. There's also even a cat with the orders. I have two cats, I'm a cat person, saying, oh my God, I'm so hungry that the dog got you, okay? What does this mean? That happiness is full only when it is shared. So I wrote a letter about things I want to let go, like my traumas, but all those pictures show that people want to let go of the pain associated with the fact that person was no longer with them. So don't waste your time. Do what you love. You don't like your job, quit. I quit my job 2 times with no B plan. Do it. Your health is more important. Your mental health is important. And we don't know how much time we have left. How much time? You don't know. I don't know. So it's very, very important. These are the 10 principles of the Burning Man. I'm not going to read them all, but it's really gifting, which is not exchanging. So I give to you something without expecting something in exchange. Or radical self-reliance. I mean, you're in a camp, but you have to learn how to survive yourself, okay, if something happens. Or radical self-expression. Nudity is not a message. If you see somebody naked, it's not a message, okay? It's somebody that just expressing himself or herself. Of course, if she wants to touch somebody else, there's consent needed. There's police, rangers everywhere. If something occurs, they will arrest you, okay? So really, it's a serious matter. Also, immediacy. There's no Wi-Fi, okay? So this was my time the whole time. I have very few pictures just of the sunrise because I wanted to keep it for myself. Leaving no trace, community effort, civic responsibility, and participation. And then again, there are no boundaries. This is a very important message. I'm making this example. I have this person in my camp that actually, I'm not going to say the nationality, but really pushed my emotional boundaries and physical boundaries more than once. On the very first day, I was sad, I was frustrated. I had these people just sitting next to me and witness how I was feeling. And instead, he said, oh, go do some drugs, you will feel better. Or, oh my God, you start dressing differently, because the last days I was putting on like more colorful outfits because my mood was different. So like, it pushed these boundaries again. Nobody can cross your borders, okay? And I'm telling this as a woman, but applies also to men. So if somebody does it, do not stay silent. Push it back. Because if or she does it with you, she will do it with others. So he tried to kiss me at a certain point, and I said no, and he said, why? Nobody can push your boundaries if you don't want it. I'm going to go very quick. And then, embracing the failure and reward. Many people at the work will tell you the story of their failure. As a man, as a husband, as a wife, as a businessman. People that like earn a lot of money, okay, and you can see the track record also on the internet, lost everything. And they go there because they know they can rebuild themselves. And this is why the man every year is burned and it's rebuilt again. And in nowadays, where we don't know how our job is going to evolve, especially what our talents are, because maybe we have, keep that like behind us, okay? This is a great message that we always start again. Linearity. I was an employee, then I had a digital, I quit at 30, I founded a digital startup, then after 3 years, I quit it again, back to multinational. Now 2 years, I'm a freelancer. And sometimes somebody told me that my career had no value because it was not linear. That's not true. And now sharing for me is no more caring, it's loving. I have people sharing everything, smiles, tea. Now when I prepare tea, I tend to make it more, also for my co-workers or people. It's something that I've never came to my mind before. So really, I have a sense of community. So sharing is not caring, sharing is loving. So something you like, try to share with somebody else. Maybe she or he will like it. It's something that we don't do that often because we think we do not want to disturb or, we don't want to contaminate. And 2 more lessons. It's what gets dismantled with the tent. My friend Diane, who works with me, said, what did you dismantle with the tent? 2 things. First of all, my discomfort of feeling excluded when I was the one not drinking, not smoking, not taking drugs. I've been living my entire life feeling like I was the wrong one. People were going out and drinking cocktails, and I was ordering my hot tea. And for me, it was discomfort. Now I let it go because I could live with other people that did different choices, and that's a matter of fact, because I don't know their journey, the most incredible experience of my life. And second, most important, I said soft is not one of the adjectives that people use to describe me, but it's my femininity. For too much time, I had to make it dormant, okay? I had to play the man role to prove that I was strong, that I always, rock and roll. And I attracted also many people that were vibrating with the wrong feminine energy, especially men. And at the birth, I met incredible, I speak as a woman, but it is also vice versa. I attracted around me very good male energy that doesn't have the need to diminish my intelligence or to label some labels on me like you're too sexy or you're dressed good like this or not. So I can be all myself, and I can vibrate my feminine energy that for so many times has been dormant. And then community power. I had this WhatsApp group with my mom, my dad. Very proud that I was there, knowing that I was about to be myself and friends. And I asked them if I'm about to share that I feel discomfort, that I'm sad, I'm frustrated. Don't try to say, "Oh, everything will go." Don't do that. Let me just witness. Let me stay in my discomfort. They all respected it. Somebody's connected right now because they live in a different part of the world, and I really appreciate that. And then the 14th lesson, I will not share now. I will share just in person, but it's called the mushroom effect. So if we have the chance to, I choose mushroom especially for a reason. If we have the chance to drink a coffee together, I will share this lesson with you. And this is one of the last pictures I shoot at the bird, because at a certain point I said, what I'm about to do, and the Cheshire cat appeared. So, and I was in Wonderland, saying, you know what the Cheshire cat said? We are all men here. So normality is a very relative concept. And now, 1 minute, this video is not public, okay? So I'll ask Matteo to end his performance. It's on my private Instagram, and it's like a hint of myself I would like to share with you right now about her. So this is my Instagram. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is not. Where is it? Okay. It's me thrilling to set up my tent. Should have stayed were the signs I know. Can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. You let the moon on. You let the moon. And I the Burning Man.
That's necessary. You're soft.
I'm soft, yeah.
So thank you very much for being here with us. Our next event will be 22 of November in another space. We will let you know, so please follow our socials so you will be updated to everything. Thank you very much again.
My pleasure.
And I believe this is also a wish for every one of us. And let's take this wish with us for today, for tomorrow, the weekend, and the days to come.
And you ask and Playa provides.
Exactly, let's ask. So we still have some sweets there. There is some coffee. You are welcome to stay for a very little bit because at 10 we have to go and leave. We have to go. Yes. So that's it for today. Thank you again. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much.
Sorry. Thank you, Matteo.
Thank you.
And to all of you. Ciao mamma.
Okay.
No, there's literally